In honor of what ASU Football did to Kenny Dillingham, Shane and I will be throwing Totri in a pool after today's show.
Huh? Happy Wednesday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by Professor Oates. Of course, we have the Deli Man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Do us a solid, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Got Emily in the chat. Say what's up if you're a Sun Devil fan here rocking with us for the next hour. A lot to get into. Dilly and the boys had themselves a little pool party, but no, Shane and Erik will not be throwing me in a pool. I'm just going to get that out there right now.
Come on, man.
Okay. I just want to let you guys know I was invited and I declined the invitation.
Really?
Yep.
Why did you decline?
I was busy.
You were busy? What was it? Was it like an Evite from Dilly or was it like a formal phone call?
It was a Snapchat selfie with the address in it and ending in pull up.
Yes.
Okay.
Pull up.
Was it just Dilly or was Kent in the photo?
Maybe a picture of the fridge.
It was just Dilly. He was standing up and it almost looked like the LeBron meme, smiling through it all. Like, so he was like, it was his phone was way above him and then there was a pool in the background.
A lot going on.
There was a floaty
Snapchat
in there. Yeah, it was great.
Interesting stuff. Coach Top in the chat saying, go Devils. Look, beyond the pool party, Arizona State wrapped up their second to last spring practice before the spring game on Friday. So I think we should go through and maybe discuss some of the players that have really stood out from the start of spring to now, some of the starting roles, maybe some of the position battles that feel like they have been won, maybe some that feel like they are still in close competition. We've got some sound from Arizona State defensive end Clayton Smith, who was making touchdown grabs out there today.
Casual day.
Doing his best to one-up Travis Hunter. We've also got some sound from ASU defensive backs coach Brian Carrington.
Heisman Clayton Smith?
Maybe.
Is that what the people are saying?
Maybe. And then we've got a snake draft at the tail end of today's show. It is Wednesday. I'm really excited for this snake draft. Rubus is 2-0. Shane and I have a lot of work to get to.
I think it's only fair if the first draft is voided.
Why?
Because I wasn't here. Yeah.
Maybe we could let the chat decide.
Yeah.
We can.
Anytime the chat has a chance to take something away from Erik,
they always do. How about let's let the chat decide if Erik doesn't get any credit for any of his wins.
Which is why I contest his dominance over you. Because the chat,
he hasn't been dominant over me. In the 24-hour stream, I wiped the floor with this guy.
But that was the preseason, and you even said that. Last offseason, I mean...
I also think PHNX Sun Devils After Dark has a different audience than
yeah, I guess that's fair.
The Daily Show.
At 3 in the morning, you think it's different than the crowd right now at 1?
And I feel like it's more Totri's group.
Totri's world.
The 3 in the morning can't sleep.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Look, while Shane declined the invite to the pool party, the rest of the Arizona State Sun Devils were there, and it looked like an absolute blast. You mentioned Dilly getting tossed in the pool by Clayton Smith and some of those other teammates. Their Sun Devil Football had actually tweeted out an entire video of everything going on.
The least important thing in all of this, but something that caught my eye specifically to no surprise.
Sam Levitt's jump shot.
Oh, my God, you knew. Not just the jump shot, bro, the crossover.
Yeah, he's filthy, dude.
I mean, we asked, I think, was it Kanye that we asked? Who was like the best basketball player on the team? And he's like, oh, yeah, probably Sam Levitt.
He got the best shot.
And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But like, here's the thing with like, let me nerd out a little bit
go
here.
ahead.
He had him with the cross too, and the pull up was smooth. I was like, okay, maybe Bobby could use a little help, right? Like, I don't want that. I think if Sam Levitt played for ASU basketball, ticket sales would go through the roof.
Oh, they would absolutely go through the roof.
Take that, Travis Hunter.
I'm not sure Dilly would allow that to happen. I personally wouldn't allow that to happen.
After the season's over?
I don't think you're
got a couple
just,
months.
Yeah, but you're getting ready at that point probably for the NFL
Sam
draft.
Levitt, Heisman, also March Madness run.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I imagine he won't be getting coached by Bobby Hurley anytime soon. I did talk to Clayton Smith. He said that he went on a 6-0 run by himself, or his team went on a 6-0 run.
Imagine Clayton Smith driving to the paint and you have to contest.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm A-okay on that front. But there was something that was posted online, kind of quote retweeting the video of Dilly getting thrown in the pool. That was just like, how many coaches do you think would not only allow their players to do such a thing, but then also have it filmed and posted out there, right? Especially with all the egos and personalities that there are in college football. And I was having that discussion with some media members out there today, and we got to maybe, like, minus Kenny, maybe 2 other Power 4 coaches. I could see Dan Lanning doing it.
Okay.
100%. Maybe not having it filmed.
Yeah,
and
the filmed part
is the only other thing.
Because I have a name in my head, but definitely would not be filmed.
And then I also threw out, this was a joke, everybody. I'm throwing this out there as a joke. I said Brent Brennan, but knowing the Wildcats, they would probably miss the pool.
On purpose.
Hit the pool deck on accident, maybe. So maybe those 3 coaches I could see potentially letting the players do it.
Not getting it filmed, Lane Kiffin at a sorority party.
Okay.
For sure.
So his players aren't throwing him in.
No, definitely not.
That's a good one.
Not the
That's
players.
a good one.
And then Bill Belichick at his girlfriend's birthday party.
Okay.
Those are the 2
so
that I could
also
definitely
still
see.
not his players.
Shane is giving me the dirtiest side.
Those were good answers.
No,
Those were good answers.
I thought those were good.
It wasn't a side eye. It was I was grimacing.
Grimace.
Shout out Grimace.
Yeah, shout out Grimace. Do you think there's any other coaches, Shane, that you could see doing it? I couldn't see Sark doing it.
Yes.
I mean, Bobby jumped in the pool.
I think there's a good amount.
Really?
Yeah.
That would let it be filmed and posted on the team's social media.
Yeah. I think I mean now a lot more than the last 10 years. But it's not about that. Like that's a wide net to cast. There's nobody doing that while also making an impact as big as Kenny is.
Yeah.
And somebody who isn't doing that as a promotion thing, that's just part of every day. And you know what? There's not a coach out there that doesn't probably even realize that the camera crew is there.
Mm-hmm.
That's who Kenny is, and doesn't even like think about anything like that because he's just enjoying the moment and he wants his players to have the most fun as possible.
Yeah.
And so the approval process for being posted, you know what it probably was? Hey, this is the video, and he probably laughed and that's it. Didn't even like say yes or no. Just like
same coach that dressed up like an Easter bunny and put it on
dude, I
Instagram.
love this guy.
Right? Like he takes himself very seriously and he doesn't take himself seriously at all.
No, like he is like, if there was a reality TV show that followed Kenny Dillingham around, I'm not even joking you, I would watch that every single week that a new episode would drop. And I don't think you can convince me that there is an Arizona State fan out there that wouldn't. Right?
Yeah.
That's how much they love their coach. I feel like there is certain coaches out there that you can kind of point out that are like, okay, we love this guy because of what he does football-wise, and that's that.
Yeah.
Right? And they remove themselves from the whole Monday through Friday and then Sunday. He's our coach for Saturday, and that's that. I feel like Kenny Dillingham represents Arizona State in a beautiful way every single day and every single opportunity, right? Like, I know he wasn't trying to do anything crazy by having his players toss him the pool, right? They probably just tossed him in. And then the whole Easter Bunny thing. He's got a kid, he's got a family, right? He's just going above and beyond dressing up as the Easter Bunny for his family and then posting it on his Instagram story. But like, fans of college football are so unused to having like personable coaches that when someone does do this type of stuff, it's like, this is the craziest thing that I've ever seen.
Well, it's so funny because it's the same thing like with the congratulating people when they enter the transfer portal and like building them up. When it happens, it goes, oh, that makes so much sense. Right? Not just from like a football standpoint, from like a human standpoint. Like that makes sense. Why doesn't everybody do that? Right? It seems like the easy right decision. What's the mantra? Have more fun and work harder than anybody in the entire world. Okay, that seems like a pretty reasonable and understandable mantra to have, but to commit to these things and to prove it and to show it and to not just say it goes so much further than just saying it.
Real quick, totally off topic. What pick do you guys want in the snake draft so I can make this graphic?
You get a.
I'll take the first pick.
I will take the second pick.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Will in the chat saying Dilly reality TV, but the camera crew is 50 feet away like a Steve Irwin crew. Oh, that would be
right
so
there.
good. That would
Got a wild Dilly.
multiple wild Dillies. Kent is just with him in his arms.
We see young Dilly.
Oh my gosh.
It's his birthday.
I also love the fact that in the middle of spring
Erik,
football.
that's horrible.
It is bad. It is
really
bad. I tried to
bad.
not acknowledge it.
Really, I had to keep going, so yeah, I had to acknowledge it.
There for like this team and this program, they had an off practice on Monday. Like it wasn't their best that they've had by any means. And then for them to have an off day on Tuesday and do this type of stuff, like a team bonding, while there's so much going on in the transfer portal and NIL and all these types of things, just again kind of shows you how close knit that this team is.
Yeah.
Being able to go over to their head coach's house and do these types of things. There was food that looked like it was catered. You had the basketball competition.
Jordan Tyson doing some acrobatics into the pool.
You had everybody hanging out in the pool.
A little scary for a guy who's recovering from 2 injuries.
Yeah.
But he nailed it.
Regardless, I think it's just it is cool to see. And again, the portal closes, the spring cycle closes in the next couple of days, and you still haven't had too much movement by any means in terms
Can you
of scholarship
imagine
players.
any of the guys in that video not wanting to be there?
No, I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to be there. And honestly, if you're like to take that to another level, imagine being a guy on a visit, right? The BYU kick returner and wide receiver Keelan Murray, and he was at practice today, right? He's been visiting Arizona State.
At the party.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like if you see these types of things, why wouldn't you want to come to Arizona State, right? My coach is hosting pool parties. We're having fun one-on-ones. We're coming off a Big 12 championship, right? We're the champions. We were in the college football playoff.
You don't believe us? We're going to play the song at the beginning of practice.
We've got Sam Levitt. We've got Jordan Tyson. We've got the best defense in the conference. Like, why wouldn't you want to come play for this team? Heck, my coach dresses up as the Easter Bunny.
That's right? The nail in the coffin right there. It's like bang.
That's why
you got to come here.
Yeah, no, 100%. It really is just absolutely wild. Will in the chat saying Dilly, Sam, Hines Ward, and Brady White went head to head on shuffleboard last night. It got competitive real quick. Is that accurate? Is that true?
I mean, probably at a pedal house for the.
Got you. Oh yeah. They had the Ben Coleman podcast. Mm-hmm. Love that. Absolutely love that. Hines was hot today, by the way.
Mad?
He was yelling. Yeah. He was yelling at certain points. He was
at you?
No. I was catching the passes. But there were a couple wide receivers that dropped passes, and how effing hard is it to catch the ball? If you want to play here, you're going to catch the ball.
It's got to hit different coming from Hines Ward, right?
It's just
like,
so
you got to
funny.
Respect wide receiver or all coaches, right? Like, Kenny, Mon, they're screaming at you. It's like, okay, I respect you. Super Bowl MVP Hines Ward getting
You're
your
like,
face.
I got to catch the ball,
How
dude.
hard is it to catch the ball?
I got to catch the ball.
Be like, yes, sir, Hines.
Oh
yes,
gosh.
sir.
Really, really fun stuff for Arizona State. Again, that was just a pool party, some off-day fun for your Arizona State Sun Devils. We are going to kick things into high gear talking about ASU spring football, get into what Clayton Smith and Brian Carrington had to say after practice on the other side of this break.
I love Pure Edibles. I'm just going to cut right to the chase.
Yeah,
I don't really need to beat around the bush. I'm just going to tell you the truth, and that's that. Pure Edibles rocks.
Yeah. They do.
You can attest.
They taste like candy.
They taste like candy, but they don't affect you like candy. No sugar high, just a regular high. But you can get high depending on exactly how you want to feel, whether it's balanced, uplifted, sleepy. Pure Edibles is here for you, not just by using unique blends of cannabinoids like CBN, CBG, CBD, and of course, THC as well. It's a pretty important one in there, but also having them designed to be bit or ripped in half so you can dial in your exact dose. Listen, it was got to be super fun to go to the pool party and all that, go to any party, but the party is not fun when you take too much of an edible and everything goes downhill. Make sure that doesn't happen by tapping in with Pure Gummies, created in Flagstaff, now produced out in Phoenix. Go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries across Arizona.
Look, guys, you need to set an alarm on your phone. Mark this on your calendar. April 24th. That is tomorrow.
Whoa.
Thursday. It's an Inner Circle Fuel Day. So if you are an Inner Circle member, which I'll tell you in just a second how you guys can sign up, you could save 40 cents per gallon.
What?
From 6 a.m. to 11:59.
That's a typo.
Literally 40 cents per gallon. They've had a couple over the last couple of weeks, so it looks like this is your last opportunity in the near future to save on gas, at least at this rate. So how do you become an Inner Circle member? Well, you go to the App Store, you download the app, you enter your email and phone number, and when you know, Eric, that's all you got to do.
That's it?
That's all you got to do.
That's too easy.
Next time you pull up to the pump, just type in your phone number, and you are going to start saving money. Beyond those Inner Circle Fuel Days, when you sign up to become an Inner Circle member, you guys can save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
And we have some extremely exciting news. As you know, one of the main staples of PHNX and All City is community.
Yeah.
Right? It's why we pour so much into our diehards. It's why we do these live events. It's why this company was created in the first place. It's why I wanted to come here, because being from here, I care about my community and making a difference in it. And that's why we're so excited to share this big and little announcement. All City, including, of course, us here at PHNX and PHNX Sun Devils, is teaming up with Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America for an exciting 3-year partnership. This goes beyond sports. It's all about community. Together, we're combining Big Brothers, Big Sisters, incredible youth mentoring programs with the passion and power of All City's local sports coverage to create something truly meaningful. Of course, it kicks off this week during NFL draft coverage. Huge week for us, but it doesn't stop there. We'll be working year-round to support Big Brother, Big Sisters through fundraising, content events, and even opportunities for our team, maybe some of you, to get directly involved. Once again, we are excited to support youth mentorship, to pour into our community, and to make a difference. You can learn and see how to get involved at bbbs.org/allcity. That's bbbs.org/allcity.
A lot of fun. Really exciting.
Will you
stuff.
be my big brother?
You know, because you've asked nicely, I'll be your big brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shane, will you be my big sister?
Just chirps. Just chirps. I really wish we had a cricket sounder on that one. That would have been...
I just think back to yesterday. I'm still laughing when Shane turned his mic on.
and shrugged.
Just sit there
to just
and say
shrug.
nothing.
That was good stuff.
I turned your guys' mics off now. It's just me. Yep. They can't hear you at all. Apologize.
No, I refuse.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go for
This
I
is-
know Shane's Productions.
Yeah, no, I can't do
Yeah,
that.
I know that he can't do that. Okay.
Goodness.
But
Mm-hmm.
back to spring practice. One of the last spring practices.
Yes, second
Today.
to last.
Second to last one. Obviously, lots of questions, lots of standouts that we're going to get to here in a second. But I'm wondering, through this whole process, through the last couple of weeks, is there anything that you've changed your mind or your opinion on the most when it comes to this team?
Ooh. Change my opinion on.
It could be about an individual player. It could be about a unit.
I think probably the running back room.
And what about it?
I think it's... at the start of spring, would have thought pretty heavily that it was going to be a Kanye-based backfield, which I think it still has an opportunity to be. But I think and trust that Marcus Arroyo is true to what he's saying about this being a by committee type situation. I think you're going to see Kyson Brown a lot this season. I think you're going to see a lot of Raleek Brown this season. I think you're going to see a lot of Kanye this season. I think they all bring different things to the offense. I think Kanye's got probably the highest ceiling, given his size and his experience. But Kyson has, a different level of speed to him than Kanye does. Raleek obviously has a lot of prowess coming out of the backfield and catching the ball. So I think I would say my biggest change of opinion is definitely been that we're going to go from one workhorse to another workhorse, kind of going from Scattaboo to a 3-headed monster in Raleek and Kyson and Kanye.
Is that more because of what you've seen from Kyson and Raleek? Is that because of what the play calling structure and the snaps have been divvied out? Is it more because of like what you've seen on that end? Or is it something that I'm not
No,
mentioning?
I think it's a combination of the two. I think in reality, right, when you have a transfer running back in transfers in general, right? How often did we talk at the start of spring ball that these guys need time, they need chemistry, they need synergy, they need reps, they need more time in the meetings, whatever. And as practice has slowly started to move forward, which, hey, when 14 practices are done, there's just a spring game left. It has been very consistent with the pecking order in terms of the running backs. Now, these guys have rotated at certain points. Kanye hasn't only gotten run with the twos. He's gotten reps with the ones. Ralik hasn't only gotten reps with the twos. He's gotten reps with the ones as well, right? It's been kind of shuffled throughout, but combining that with what I've seen from Ralik and Kyson this spring, I think both those guys took a jump from the end of last season. Obviously, Ralik missed a lot of the year with an injury, but Kyson being at one point Cam's backup to where he is now, he looks like a completely different player. He looks like he can be a 3-down back. He is just the what's the right word? Not the jolt, but just the speed that this guy has off of the jump. And really what does it for me is the extra work that Kyson's putting in. Not to say that these other guys aren't putting in work, but you go look at what Kyson was doing after Monday's practice, right? They had a practice in the stadium. It was a practice that ultimately was, not as good as what Arizona State standards have been. Players are leaving, media's done, lights in the stadium are going off, coaches are leaving the field, and Kyson's still out there. Kyson's still out there getting reps in, working, catching the ball, cutting, running the ball, those types of things, right? Those are the types of little moments, whether that be 5 extra minutes, 10 extra minutes, an extra hour, that when it's 4th and 1, we need a yard to keep a drive alive. It's those types of moments that allow those types of backs to be able to get those yards. And how often did you see that from Cam Scadaboo? How often have you seen that at Arizona State at the running back position in Xavier Valladay, Rashad White, Eno Benjamin, Kalen Balaj, right?
Richard, yeah.
It's those types of moments after practice, after everybody's left, that ultimately allow these players to take that next step. So I think that has probably been the biggest change, is just my opinion and view on the running back situation. But I think it's a positive outcome if that's ultimately what happens.
I mean, yeah, having 3 good options who can run with the ones is better than having one. I mean, obviously, when that one is Cam Scadaboo, it's a little bit different. But when you're talking about in-game situations, the thing that made Scat so special was you could kind of throw him anywhere, have him do anything. You could have him catch a screen. You could have him bulldoze on the 1-yard line to get a touchdown. You could have him break off and pick up 20, 25, 30 yards. Right, that's what made him special, was the variety that he had, the different tools in his bag, right?
Yeah.
So with these 3 running backs, we all acknowledge that they are not Cam Scadaboo. Very few players in college football history have ever been or will ever be Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah.
Only one, basically. Cam Scadaboo. Right. But if you're saying, I'm Marcus Arroyo and I need 1 yard at the goal line, right? Maybe you don't go to Kyson and Ralik. Maybe you just need to power it in because that's the type of game that's been going on. Maybe you think that this defensive line and their secondary and everything, they're quick twitch, they're fast, but they're not that strong, right? Let's give the ball to Kanye, who is a beast, who is huge, especially for a running back, and let's plow right through.
Let him go.
Right? Okay, we're 2nd and 13 right now, and we want to pick up something to set up an RPO or to set up Sam to bomb downfield. Let's give it quickly to Ralik, just out quick, right? And just as a screen, see what he could pick up super fast. Or, hey, we need 4 yards. We need 4 yards right now. Let's give it to Kyson. Like, having those different options and those different tools in Marcus Arroyo's bag with 3 different players, if anything, can kind of help keep defenses on edge, especially because none of them are just one-trick ponies either, right? Just because Kanye's big and strong doesn't mean he can't do all the other things. Just because Kyson has that quick twitch, just because he's a little bit faster, more all-around, doesn't mean he can excel. He can't excel in one area. Just because Ralik is super fast and maybe the best pass catcher out of the group doesn't mean that he can't also take it up the middle, find a hole, and pick up 11 to 15, right? So they all have the ability to do that, and that can stack on top of each other to where now defenses are left guessing and then assuming when Kanye comes in, it's going to be something like this. And then it changes. So there are multiple different layers that could be built in there, along with the fact that yesterday I joked that Sam Levitt's also in the running back room.
Yeah.
But that's not really a joke.
No.
Right? Like, Sam Levitt and his legs are a legitimate threat to run. And so when you have to take all of that into account, plus all the wide receivers, ones that we'll talk about, established ones like Jordan Tyson, and a potential Heisman level quarterback, and Sam Levitt, plus your tight end room, who might be your strongest room on offense, period. That is a lot of options to help break down and dissect any defense, like a great defense or defenses that are good in one specific area. You're never going to be put in a box with what hypothetically we believe all of these options can bring.
And that is just the offense.
Correct.
Right. That's not even discussing the defense by any means, right? You're trying to talk about a team in Arizona State that is going to be a team that everybody circles on their calendar this season. And we talked about Sam Levitt. We talked about the running backs. You mentioned the tight ends. Jordan Tyson, a top 3 receiver in college football. And that's just, okay, in defensive meetings all week long, opposing defenses are trying to figure out how to stop that. And in a meeting room down the hall, you've got an offensive coordinator and a quarterback being like, how the hell do we get past this defense, right? At the start of this segment, you asked me, what has maybe changed about my opinion through spring football. I think going into spring, I knew that this defense was going to be good, right? How could it not be? You returned 10 of 11 starters from last season. The only guy swapping out is Montana Warren for Shamari. He's been in the system, played the position in the Peach Bowl, right? What I didn't expect was for this defense to be as suffocating as it is. This defensive line, and you'll hear from Clayton Smith in just a little bit, it's putting an emphasis on getting to the quarterback, right? This secondary is trying to take the next step to be elite. These linebackers look as good, if not better, than they did during the postseason run last year. Not to mention, I tweeted out from the account this morning, does ASU have the best safety duo in the conference in Miles Rouser and Xavier Alford?
Conversation, but I think yes.
Like, you go to each and every level of this defense and you try. Like, I sit there, trust me, there are people on the internet that are like, you only say positive things about ASU, blah, 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 blah. First off, go back a couple of years.
I'm about to say,
I wasn't saying just positive things
or not
about
a couple
Arizona
years.
State.
Go back to ASU basketball season.
Yeah. And I watch it. I'm like, okay, what could be a flaw? What could be a problem for this defense? And like, there are little things like here or there, but ultimately, like, there isn't a lot of flaws on this defense. I have said big that the one thing that I think this defense really, really needs to focus in on this season is getting to the quarterback, is having somewhat of a pass rush. So I asked Clayton Smith today, point blank, how does Arizona State, how do Elijah, how does Prince, how do you guys take the pass rush to the next level? This is what Clayton Smith had to say.
Well, we were told last year that we were great at getting to the quarterback, but we were terrible at getting him down. So this year is making sure we get him down. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like we took a different approach to pass rushing. We got a lot of different packages. We spent a lot more time pass rushing in Indy, and I think it's going to pay off.
Before we get to what he said, for those listening on audio, you wouldn't be able to tell because he was so focused and contained, but he was getting messed with. Who was that putting like cleats on his head, a helmet on him?
Kangaika was putting helmet and cleats and all sorts, and I believe Champ Westbrook as well was taking part in that. I know an offensive lineman was joining him. I was trying to stay as locked in as I could, but there were a bunch of players just messing with him, and they were like, don't let it fall. He's like, okay, I got you.
He didn't.
And then right after the interview, he's like, get this off my head. It was good. It was really good stuff.
Did you ask him about his lizards?
Yeah, so Clayton Smith has reptiles.
Yes.
It's not
known
breaking
reptile
news.
owner.
It's not breaking news that Clayton Smith, your Arizona State edge rusher, owns lizards, snakes. But we've got an update.
Oh?
Clayton Smith has sold a snake.
Oh.
And now he's just got 3 lizards, to my understanding. No snake,
was there a
3
reason?
Lizards.
What about the turtles? Didn't he have turtles?
I asked him about the reptiles. He said 3 lizards. So you can ask him on Friday when we see him for the spring game. But as it stands right now,
that man's selling snakes and turtles.
He's snelling. Yeah.
Snelling.
He's snelling snakes and turtles.
You know what? I need my edge rusher to have that little bit of crazy.
Dude, I don't know if you guys, how much you've been on X or Twitter today. Clay Smith was catching touchdowns today.
I did see that, yes.
And the one-on-one caught a touchdown over Jalen Moss, which was a ridiculous touchdown.
Didn't he sub in offensively a couple times last year?
He did. There was also he caught he
lined up in the backfield at one point.
He caught a fake punt as well.
Yeah.
So he caught the touchdown in one-on-ones. And then normally these guys break, right? You'll have the offensive line and defensive line go at it in like a team setting, and then you have the wide receivers, tight ends going up against the DBs, right? for the first 10 minutes of that session, Clayton Smith was running with the wide receivers. He wanted to run with the wide outs.
Dude, that's so cool. So cool.
His first rep, it was like an overthrown pass, whatever. And Brian Carrington got on and was like, now get your ass over to the other side. Get it over to the D-line, whatever. Clayton Smith was like, nah, I'm staying for one more rep.
No,
so then the next rep, he caught a touchdown over Nyland Green. And then he threw the ball, and then he went to the defensive line and in the offensive line drill. But yeah, Clayton Smith, to B's point, the next Travis Hunter.
I mean, I can see it.
He's doing some really fun stuff.
Over under on both sides of the ball. Clayton Smith touchdowns this season 0.5.
Over. Taking the over.
1.5.
Ooh.
Push. He runs.
It really depends on the value.
He runs in the end zone with somebody else.
Holding the ball with somebody else there.
I do think Clayton
that's fumble recovery touchdown as well.
You'll absolutely take it. Hey,
I don't think anybody's ever going to beat the CJ Fight touchdown.
Oh my gosh, the
so
pick six?
awesome.
That was so
That
unbelievable.
was good stuff. I wish we had him like mic'd up for that touchdown.
I wish we just had CJ Fight eternally mic'd up.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's 100% fair. Look, Clayton Smith, obviously, aside from the reptile conversation and all that stuff,
the important stuff. The reptiles and the touchdowns.
Arizona State is really going to lean on Clayton Smith defensively as a leader this season. So I asked him again after practice, just how different has this spring football been since when he first got here, right? He was a young buck still. I believe he was a sophomore when he transferred to Arizona State, a former 5-star, looking to really find his home, revitalize his career. So what's changed from year one to where he's at now? This is what Clayton Smith had to say.
To start off, just the mentality of being out here. You know, my first year out here, we were kind of lost as a team, coming off a 3-9 year, went 3-9 again. Like, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't really like a lot of good attitudes. There was a lot of individualism out here, you know what I'm saying, people just coming out here to get their work and go home, as opposed to now, we got a championship culture, you know what I'm saying, this is a true family, it's happy, the vibes are amazing, you know what I'm saying, and I just feel like we're getting better, we're getting a lot better because of the environment we produced.
Getting a lot better because of the environment that they've produced, right? This is a team that, like you said, when they got here, we're coming off a 3-9 season. They had a 3-9 season even after that in year one of Dilly. They had the whole NCAA situation. They had the bowl ban 3 days before the season started, right? And they still pushed and grinded through that entire year to ultimately have the season that they had last year.
An entire offseason full of people picking them to some people saying their ceiling was 3 wins.
Yeah.
And that they were predicting them to have 0.
I asked him at the Big 12 Media Day when he was there. I said, there are a lot of people in this building that don't think you're going to be very good, right? Yeah. They think you're going to be the worst of the worst. What do you have to say to that? And his response was, okay, that's fine. Stay on that side of the line. Right.
And I remember we talked to Kenny Tuna. I was like, where does that like border between motivation and distraction? He's like, they all see it.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm not going to pretend like they don't see it. And so when you go through all of that and you're also looking to your left and to your right, and the people who are with you before all of that are still there and they haven't left and they haven't abandoned you, like that's going to make you play harder. And also, I know we joke about the offensive stuff and him running with the wide receivers, and it seems like a fun, cute story in spring, and maybe on the surface level it is. But on a deeper level, you have to experience some sort of like freedom within the system of being like, you know what? We didn't have a great practice earlier this week, but we just had a pool party. We're having fun. I'm working hard at my position. I'm one of the leaders on this team. I'm gonna run a couple drills with the wide receivers, right? And yeah, they're gonna yell at me to get back, but nobody's gonna get angry at me. Nobody's gonna be mad. Like, you're going to feel more free in yourself, and when you are freed on like an internal, personal level, you can go out there and give so much more to the people around you. And I think that goes just beyond what Clayton Smith is doing individually, but what everybody there is doing. The whole having fun thing doesn't just mean doing activities that have fun. It means being free to just release and have fun and not be worried about the people next to you judging you or not being on the same page, or your coaches hating on you, or an inner team dynamic of somebody not getting along. Like, all of that stuff is a weight off of people's shoulders. And when that weight releases, you can then focus more on what's the goal at hand. And the goal at hand is to just continue to get better every single day, every single rep.
And I think he's a good example of a leader, right? And a veteran on this team of like, hey, this is somebody that, you know, wasn't at Arizona State from the jump, went to a different school at the time, Oklahoma, like overall good and highly respected football program. It didn't work out. Came to Arizona State, took it on the chin, right? Wasn't the best pass rusher in the world when he arrived on campus, but look to, where he's at now. They were calling this guy finesse when he first got here because they were joking that he couldn't move people, that he could just go around them, right? And now he's one of the strongest edge rushers, if not the strongest edge rusher on this team. It's somebody that got here, knew where he needed to work, really, really ingrained himself in the culture, and ultimately it's made him a better player, and this defense is 100% better because of it. But it's not just Clayton Smith. It's not just, Sam Levitt on the offensive side of the ball.
I have that clip if you want to play it from
the touchdown clip?
No. The clip from Big 12 Media Day.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and take a look at what he had to say when we can get that. For you, there's a lot of people in this building that don't think you're going to be very good this year, that think that you guys have the potential to be the worst team in this conference. What would you say to those people?
Stay on that side of the fence. I mean, I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying, because that just takes all the pressure off of our backs if y'all think we're going to be the worst anyway. So whatever we do is far better than what you thought we were going to do anyway. And the goal is to win as many games as we can. So if we come out and have the season that we want to have, I mean, just make sure the apology was allowed as disrespect.
I love that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Shane's smile when he said that too.
Shane was amped.
He was like, oh, let's go. I'm ready to run through a wall.
Oh, I love the ending of that where he's like, just make sure the apology is as loud as the disrespect.
You know what? I think it was.
Yeah.
And I think it was forced because you got to the point where nobody had any chance but to praise you.
Yeah, there was nothing you could
team.
say about Arizona State by the end of the season, just other than like, wow.
Yeah.
Right. Like there was no really other words to describe the season that they had, especially after the expectations and all that type of stuff. It really was wild. Look, I do want to get to some sound from Arizona State defensive backs coach Brian Carrington. We can get through some of the standouts that we've seen from the start of spring ball to where we're at now with just a spring game left. And then, of course, we have a snake draft. But before all that, we do have to take one more quick break. You're right. We get to take a quick break. Look, guys, we got some big news from David Kimmerly, president of America's most awarded Ford dealership, Sanderson Ford. Ford just announced From America for America employee pricing, so now you pay what he pays on the full lineup on new Fords with no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense, and here's the big one, no added markups. Employee pricing levels the playing field for Ford dealers as everyone gets the same set price. However, other dealers will still add addendums, add-ons. Sanderson Ford, on the other hand, will not. Choose Sanderson because they have the inventory and a 70-year reputation of treating you right. Ford is undeniably the most America-first automaker in the world. 80% of the vehicles Ford sells are assembled in factories located right here in America, and they're going to be less affected by those tariffs. Now is the time to buy a new Ford with From America for America employee pricing. Excludes 2025 Expedition, 2025 Super Duty Raptors, Mustang, and Bronco specialty vehicles.
It's a crazy, unpredictable world that we live in, so I'll take a guarantee wherever I can get one. And if you're trying to sell your home, you can get one with Carol Royse. She will guarantee, 100% guarantee to sell your home for 100% of the market value, or guess what? She'll pay you the difference. And if you're considering a cash offer, don't just settle for one. Get up to 6 of the best offers with at least one at 100% market value, or once again, Carol's going to pay you the difference if you are trying to sell your home or even thinking about if selling your home is the right decision right now. Sit down and have a conversation with Carol. She's going to tell you the truth, even if it doesn't make her money. Call Carol Royse today, 480-776-5231. One more time, 480-776-5231, or visit Carol online at carolroysteam.com and tell them PHNX sent you. That's carolroysteam.com. Terms and conditions apply, but a guarantee is guaranteed. That was kind of a bar.
Bars. That was kind of a bars. That was good stuff. Guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Look, every spring, it feels like there is one, maybe two players that absolutely just destroy the expectations that you had for them and really raise the bar. Last year, it was Keith Abney. And before we get into the guys that we've seen from this spring, I want to get back to Keith Abney because Keith we had him on the show when he was a high school senior, right? When he was coming on with Montana Warren and Ashley Williams at the time.
He was in science class
Like,
and the bell was ringing.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And so for him to have the freshman year that he did, right, where he's just learning at that point, he's not playing. This team isn't very good.
That freaks me out.
Well, how long that has been?
He's a junior.
He's a junior now. Yeah, this is probably his last year at Arizona State,
Oh
which is crazy. It's absolutely insane.
I gotta hang it up, man.
I know. How do you think I feel?
Hashtag
At least you're in a
King.
different position. I'm still doing the same thing here. Keith, he's really grown as a player every single year in coverage, size-wise, in run defense, all of the things. So I stopped Brian Carrington after practice today, and I asked him, what have you seen, and just what's the growth been like from Keith from that very first practice at Arizona State to where he's at now, nearing the end of his, third spring ball? And this is what Keith Abney's position coach had to say.
Keith is just a high achiever. He's a guy that's a big critic of himself. He's a guy that has a lot of goals and aspirations that he wants to achieve. And he, most importantly, is humble through that process. He had a little success, last year. You don't make it to the playoffs without good cornerback play, but he wants to be an all-conference caliber performer. So we're kind of, ushering in, standards and, taking things to the next level. So we're just pushing guys to, kind of get to the next level. So that's kind of been our mantra this spring.
One of my earliest memories on this show, and I say this in the most respectful way possible, is you refusing to shut up about Keith Abney. It was every single day, every show, feeling like every single tweet was like, keep your eyes out for Keith Abney. Keep your eyes out for Keith Abney. I mean, it was a great call. And if he does improve and continue to improve, like Brian Carrington said that he wants to do and like he's striving to do, and by all means, we all believe that he will, that just plays into your point from last segment about this defense having very few weaknesses. Yeah. The only thing that can really get in the way of this defense collectively getting better is individual player regression. Yeah. But when you start breaking it down player by player, and we can look specifically at Keith, there are just guys that are so committed and dedicated to that not happening, it's not even a concern about it. And guys that aren't 26, 27 years old, Keith is a true junior. Yeah. Right? So he's still young. He still has so much room to improve, and now comfortability in the system, not just in practice, but in success as well. And now you're going and basing off of, hey, how do I improve off of success? Not how do we turn this last season that was garbage into a successful season. It's how do we take that success and double up on it? And that's a really tough process. It takes a certain type of player to do that. But those are the types of players that are at Arizona State.
Yeah, and think about it. Keith is one of the smartest players on this team. Yeah. Right? One of the highest GPAs on the team.
He's in Barrett Tyson, right?
Yep. In the Barrett Honors College. Like, this is a kid that cares about life after football, cares about some of the other things, right? Which, no disrespect to the guys that are just here for football, but, like, this kid has so much other stuff that he is dealing with. Like, imagine being a freshman, right? I know this is a long time ago for all of us, right? You're a freshman. You are coming to a new program, a program that, in all honesty, is kind of in shambles, right? At the football level, you're playing for a first-year head coach in Kenny Dillingham. Not only that, you're learning a system. You're moving across the country to somewhere new. You are trying to adapt there. You're in the Barrett Honors College. Like, there are so many different things, and for him to be juggling all of that while improving every year from a football perspective is absurd, to be completely honest with you. B saying Keith Abney had college football playoff reps. That's huge for experience.
And then he went back and did math homework.
Yeah,
is that happening? I think that's the biggest thing for me with like student athletes who really take the student part seriously. Yeah, it's like you only really see them on like these big stages in these games and whatnot, and it's like, man, after that game ended, you're going back and you're thinking about like, oh crap, I got an assignment due in 3 days.
I got a test
like,
or something.
What the hell? Like, that's so crazy to me, dude. And to be able to succeed at a high level in both, like I think like Melquan Stovall, I think it was. He said he has like 2 master's degrees or something like that. Like crazy stuff to be able to take care of your body, and like being a good football player requires being incredibly intelligent. I hate the stigma that follows athletes in general, and especially football players, of like being big and dumb and stupid and blah, blah, blah. No. It's stupid. Like, you have to be smart, especially for this team and these systems. Like, you have to be smart. You have to know not just who your opponent is, but every last corner of your playbook and the players' tendencies next to you and what you can improve on, and then go be a student as well. Like, it's such an incredible balance. And anybody who does
Sorry, bro. I thought you were done talking.
No, it's okay. Hey,
that was my zip it up.
Yeah, one thing you'll learn is I'm never done talking. I am now.
One thing I'll learn.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just cut off there.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm
that's
done.
on me.
That was the Oscars music was playing.
Yeah.
You know,
I love it.
B's talking about ASU football, but I'm gonna put this up and act like he's talking about.
Yeah, were you talking about us, B?
Screenshot it.
These are impressive.
These are
impressive. Smile, impressive young man.
Thanks, Bees. Appreciate that. Some other impressive young men throughout spring football. Rodney Bimmage. Rodney Bimmage has been a guy that's been working with the DBs in rotating in terms of that one defense. Javen Robinson also returning for Arizona State. So I'm interested to see what the rotation kind of looks like for Bimmage, but he's certainly improved from last season to where he's at now. It looks like a completely different player from last spring to right now. We brought up Keith Abney. Jordan Crook, the last guy we'll talk about on the defensive side of the ball, has been just masterful from the start of spring ball to now. This is a guy, when he first got to Arizona State, was mainly a special teamer at Arkansas, transferred over, and I think there was a lot of people, myself included, that figured he would be a rotational linebacker, right? Cyrus Fiaseu, Keyshawn Elliott, those would be your two lead linebackers, and then Crook and Tate Romney, Caleb McCullough, whoever else would rotate in. And really from the start of spring to the end of spring, Jordan Crook is your second starting linebacker behind Keyshawn Elliott. And again, you're going to see a healthy rotation of these linebackers, but Jordan Crook has impressed wildly in coverage and run defense. He is stepping up into more of a leadership role. I would say he's got one of the best personalities on the team.
Definitely.
So Jordan Crook is just, again, really, really impressed from where he was at a couple years ago to where he's at now. And then looking at the offensive side of the ball, some of the guys that we've talked about, Jaren Hamilton, obviously at that wide receiver spot. They've been matching him up a lot more with Keith Abney in practice. No more getting to run past some of the younger corners. You have to deal with K1. So they've been going at it. Tweeted it out a couple days ago. Last week, iron sharpens iron with those two having a really good rep. So he's been fun to watch. I anticipate seeing a lot of Jaren Hamilton this season. Something, again, I didn't necessarily think I'd be saying at this point in spring ball versus where we were at the start.
Is that your biggest surprise?
Jaren?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Totri is notorious as a Jaren Hamilton denier.
I'm a Jaren Hamilton denier?
No,
I'm doing a bit, but I'm also not doing a bit. Because I remember at the start of spring ball when we were talking, I asked you about him because I was, I'm not out there every day, but I was one of those guys
he was infatuated.
That see on social media a burner and you were like, yeah, he's probably going to be a specialist, just a guy who will run a couple go routes and nothing more. But now as it's progressed, you see him more as an everyday guy.
Yeah. I see him as a contributor in this offense. Again, I don't know where, right, with the whole Malik McLean, it's going to be one of those situations where it's just going to be, we got to wait till the week of game week to really figure out who's in some of these spots. But I think if I had to say, hey, kickoff's tomorrow, and you're either starting Jaren Hamilton or Malik McLean, I'm starting Jaren Hamilton.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's more so you're a Jaren Hamilton denier as much as it's a Jalen Moss apologist, I guess.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I guess that's fair. I definitely refrain from any negativity around Jalen Moss, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
You think Jaren's a return guy?
No. I don't think so. I think
future transfer is the return guy.
Future transfer, Keelan Marion. Raleek was working with the return men today in terms of punts. I'm interested to see what they do for kickoff. Shane knows this, and Shane, I think, is with me on this. I am not a big fan of utilizing offensive weapons in special teams, at least not in like the actual return position. If you want to be a gunner and just go run and smack somebody, sure, do it. But Elijah Badger was a return man the first year under Dilly. We hated that.
He was a punt returner.
Yeah, hated that.
Oh
absolutely.
My God.
That's a great place though.
Hated it. Yeah. Still, it's not worth it in my eyes. So Raleek is doing punts right now. Again, if Keelan Marion commits to Arizona State, he's going to be the guy. He's one of, if not the best return man in the country from last season.
Yeah, I mean, if he's here, then that
solves that problem pretty easily.
Yeah.
But if not,
can Jake Smith come back and do it?
I'm okay on that. He's
Clayton Smith?
Huh?
Clayton Smith?
No, I don't want that either.
CJ fight.
CJ
No.
fight. Come on, I need against NAU.
I said a while back that I wanted to see CJ fight. I wanted to see a goal line defense, but where
Yeah.
CJ fights at linebacker.
Oh, I was gonna say I wanted to see like a Vita Vea draw play or a dive play from him.
Yeah,
I could see that. I could 100%. NAU, watch out.
I
That's all I'm gonna
see
say.
a big CJ fight hours against
Well,
NAU.
now that ASU no longer affiliates with the Petes, you need a big guy to hand the ball off to.
That's 100% fair. And then bringing us home, Raleek Brown. Raleek Brown's had a really, really solid spring. This is a guy that last year when he transferred, we were talking about him being one of the best, if not the best, incoming transfer that Arizona State was going to get. He was playing wide receiver at USC, and he wanted to be more of a running back. Transferred to Arizona State, dealt with hamstring injuries most of last season, and all spring he has looked 100%. He's looked quick. He's looked agile. He's catching passes. And don't get confused of this guy being just like a out of the backfield, we're going to throw it to him. He can run the ball really, really well. He's had a couple rushing touchdowns that he's sprung for 50, 60, 70 yards in spring. And he's just so fast, you can't catch him. So
I remember I made the thumbnail we did a video about Raleek when he transferred here, and the thumbnail text was electric.
Yeah.
So
he's an electric factory, man. And so is the snake draft that we're
what
about
a
to
transition.
do. What it is. Guys, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review. I just got to throw that out there. It's like a tick.
Yeah.
I got to throw that out there like every 10 minutes on the dot. So if you don't do it, I know if you don't do it, and it hurts.
Yeah, it does. I mean, he cries.
Yeah. A lot, actually.
Just in general.
Yeah.
But also because of that.
What are we snake drafting?
We are snake drafting serial mascots to lead you into battle.
Can I clarify something?
Well, hold on. Before we
Why
start,
do you always got to clarify
before we
something?
get into the weeds, how did this start? Why is this a thing? Like, did you just randomly think about this, or
you want the honest answer?
Yeah.
Pure edibles.
No, not pure edibles. We've done a lot of snake drafts over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So I hopped into AI and I asked it to come up with a creative,
that's a creative one,
fun topic. And
It's
so,
fun.
I was like, I would have never thought of this.
Yeah.
So here we are. Do you also hate AI as much as
No,
dude,
you gotta stop it. We're not bringing this on here. We're not doing this right now.
I thought we had a cow mooing over there in the corner. It's just girth.
I'm with Gerald.
It's just girth.
So leading a battle, they're actually fighting. They're not just like you're leading and you're fighting.
Well, yeah. You have to think about it as the general, but the general's actually boots on the ground.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just clarifying that.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this.
This isn't like a strategist that's
Just
pointing on a map.
wanted to make sure they're not sitting at the round table.
Get in the turtle formation.
Okay.
This is like, it's 100% like a, what's it called?
Like you're fighting and you're leading.
Exactly.
They're at the front of the line.
Exactly.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
So
we
we already established the draft order.
I am first pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are first pick. So
Your second pick?
Yes. Deli Man's bringing us home with 3, and then he'll come back on the way around.
Okay.
So without further ado, Erik Ruby, you are on the clock.
We should have snake drafted
They haven't gotten one pick in yet.
we should have snake drafted players in the NFL draft this year and just done an NFL draft.
That would have been good. Cam's got to do it.
Just did a mock draft.
Okay. I hate to announce that I have won this draft because
We all know where he's going,
Yeah,
right?
and so go ahead.
There is nothing that you can do against a sentient sun. Give me Sonny the Sun from Raisin Bran. He is literally the sun.
So yeah, that's the right pick. It's 100% the right pick. It's a sun. And when you asked me earlier if that's what I was talking about, of course that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Shane was like, I won the draft. I figured out the draft.
And then you did your research and we're like, oh, what did he?
And I was like, well, yeah, duh, it's the sun.
Let's also hide the chat.
What's
here.
his name?
Sonny
the Sun.
Okay.
Let's hide the chat when we get a chance.
No matter who you draft, you can't touch me.
Yeah, I mean, you're the sun.
I'm a sentient sun.
Well, here's the thing though.
Who's to say the sun isn't already sentient?
Okay, but here's the thing: is he actually the sun? Like, is it the size of the sun? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
we don't know that.
Let's look him up.
Okay, but if he's just as hot as the sun, then I'm just gonna have him fly around and burn you all.
Who knows?
But does the sun?
He's a sun. We're not sun denying here on PHNX Sun Devils.
I'm a sun denier. I deny the Suns.
We're not denying. We can deny the Suns. That's at 3 p.m.
What if
on
he's
this channel?
Just Kevin Durant. What if he's just as bad?
Then according to the internet, he can't lead anybody into battle.
Guess that's fair. Look, I'm gonna go with Tony the Tiger here.
That's a great pick.
I think Tony gets it done. I think he's got a great name, and I think he's a Tiger. So there are not a lot of
Sonny the Sun and Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, I mean there aren't a lot of ginormous mascots, but I feel really good good about where I stand.
Yeah,
with
there
Tony.
aren't a lot of celestial beings
Yeah,
on the board.
Got the first celestial being
first
on the
and
board.
probably only. Yeah, so I mean that's a solid pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
I'm gonna go with the only person that wields a weapon.
Yeah.
And that's Captain Crunch.
What's
That's
his
a
name?
good one.
I don't know.
You don't know his
You
name?
could just do
Isn't
Captain
his
Crunch.
name Captain Crunch?
Yeah,
no.
I'm pretty sure it's
oh
just
my God.
Captain
You don't know
Crunch.
Captain Crunch's name?
What's his name?
Guys.
Oh,
Do
is
you
this-
know his
is this
name?
gonna-
Horatio Magellan Crunch.
Wow,
You're
that's great.
joking.
I'm being dead
You're joking.
ass. His name is Horatio Magellan Crunch.
Wow.
I'm just gonna put Captain Crunch
Yeah.
for now.
But I mean,
but
objectively, it's a
the
great
name,
name.
the name helps.
It's a phenomenal name.
Horatio
That's-
Magellan Crunch.
That's actually unbelievable.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
So Captain Crunch first. This is tough now because I've gone back and forth with this, and I don't know if somebody's gonna take this, but this person is also technically immortal, and that's Count Chocula.
It's fair.
Mm.
He's
I just got one problem with that pick.
the sun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like he's immortal, but like except for one thing,
You know what?
the
But-
sun.
well, hold on, Erik. Is the sun? Am I fighting you guys, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's fair.
So I don't
I
think
mean,
I'm-
that's a good
I
question.
don't
mean,
think I'm
it-
fighting the sun.
That's fair.
if
We're
he
not
was-
fighting each other, then it's
again,
different.
And again, if he was leading somebody into battle, there is no world where he leads an attack during the day.
Correct.
That
but
would-
that might make it predictable.
That would be a horrible
I
decision.
hate you guys. I really do.
Predictable.
Unbelievable.
This is a great
Is that how you
draft.
spell Chocula? I don't know. Who cares? No free ads. Next. Max is
Yes, that is how you spell Count Chocula.
I'm
Totri?
up here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're covered on the ground here. Give me Toucan Sam through the air.
What the hell is he gonna do?
I know it's a normie pick, but hey, we got eyes
It's
from
not a
above.
normie pick, it's just-
we got eyes from above here.
Okay, so you picked your scout.
Don't worry,
second.
I've got my plan here. We've got the leader in
You
Tony.
didn't even pick the best bird.
We've got the eyes from above and Toucan Sam, and just you wait till we see what we have for a soldier here. Just wait.
Come on,
Assuming it doesn't come off the board.
I'm about to say it might come off the board.
You're up, Rubus.
Toucan Sam is objectively a terrible.
It's
pick.
horrible.
Objectively terrible.
He's
pick.
so small.
That's what. I don't
want a crazy bird.
Gerald says.
I don't want a crazy bird.
Gerald-
You can't control the crazy bird.
Gerald says you didn't even get the bird that's
Go ahead.
cuckoo.
Draft a cuckoo bird,
And
man.
I'm going from Sonny the Sun to Sonny with an O, the cuckoo bird.
Okay. You have a crazy bird,
no,
man.
here's the thing. There is one thing that he wants, and that's Cocoa Puffs.
And he will not stop
And he
at
will
anything.
not stop at anything.
Okay.
Here's what I'm
I'm just
doing.
going to say Sunny Cuckoo on
Yeah.
here, if that's fair.
And what you have to do is the sentient sun, knower of all things, looks down at Sonny.
He's not omnipotent.
He's the sun. Of course he's omnipotent.
No, he's not.
He's
The
a-
Raisin Bran
he's a sentient
mascot
sun.
is just a god.
He's a sentient sun.
Look, I'll give you celestial. I'll
Okay,
give you.
okay.
I'll give you.
Okay, I
I'll
got
give you all powerful. He's not omnipotent.
He's
That's
not
unfair.
omnipotent. Okay. But all you have to do is say, hey, Sonny, they have Cocoa Puffs. And it's over.
Yeah, but that could also work against him. It's totally a double-edged sword.
That's fair. But what we'll do is we'll have some Cocoa Puffs to the side to like be like, oh, the rest are over there.
No, but here's the problem, Erik. How is he leading you into battle if you're the one that's going to have to usher him?
You need
Yeah,
like
that's
think about it like a
having
football team. Think about
No.
like a football team. You need one psychopath.
No,
Like you need one guy who's gonna go out there
That's
and
your
lay
guy?
his body
Erik,
on the line.
Yeah, but you also need to be able to
Lead by
control
example.
that.
Hold on. For everybody watching on our streaming platform,
We're going to
The party
overtime.
always continues
Yeah.
on gophnx.com.
overtime.
Overtime.
So, but here, read this real fast. What does this say, Erik, on the top left?
Serial mascots to lead you into battle.
Okay, if he's leading you, you can't then lead him to the Cocoa Puffs.
But
He's
they're
gonna
all
find,
5 are leading.
No, but his whole thing is, what's his goal? His goal isn't to win the battle. His goal is to get those Cocoa
Dude,
Puffs.
Okay, look at the look on that guy's face.
All
He
4 of
needs
the
to be
other
checked
leaders.
into a home.
All 4 of the other leaders are going to say, our objective today is to get the Cocoa Puffs on the other side. And before they're even done, Cuckoo is across the battlefield.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Just screaming.
That guy's got a lot wrong with him.
He's got a lot of off the field issues.
Yeah, he does. He does have a ton of off the field issues.
Okay, but the production's there. The production's there.
Yeah.
You pick Toucan Sam.
When he
I'm not
plays-
taking your opinion.
When he plays in there, at least my dude is like, he's got his
You
head on
you
straight.
just drafted Josh Gordon. if
Yeah,
I'm being
just so
real.
Josh Gordon was good.
For
Let's
2
get that-
games.
Let's
For
get that
2
clear.
days.
2 games.
Yeah.
Get that clear. Josh Gordon was good.
If you get into the 1,000-year war, you're dead. It's
Yeah.
over.
It's not a 1,000-year war. You're all dead
Well,
because of the
He's
sun.
here for 2 days, and that's that.
You're all dead because of the sun.
The only person lasting through the 1,000-year wars is
the sentient
I
sun.
already won. I could pick.
Anyway,
I could
okay.
pick Snap, Crackle, and Pop, and I'm still winning.
Next pick.
Okay. By the way, Toucan is with the TOU. Just so you know. That.
Okay.
Give me another little bit of crazy here. Okay.
If you take
This guy has magical powers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and he hates children. Give me Lucky the Leprechaun.
Wow.
That's a mid pick. Like that, if you're saying that Toucan Sam's a bad pick, I don't see how you're saying that's a good pick.
He can magically summon things and throw them at you. He's magic.
Has he summoned
Toucan
anything?
Sam's a bird.
Has he? Okay, Mr. I drafted a bird right after you.
Who
Calm
tears down buildings
The
for
only thing
cereal?
that Lucky has produced is marshmallows. He doesn't just make.
That's not true.
He doesn't. Find
Do
me
your
something.
research.
Find me something.
Do your
Find me a
research.
video where homie makes something that's valuable outside
I'm
of
looking up
marshmallows.
Lucky the Leprechaun powers.
Okay. Yeah.
Canon.
Yeah. Let's see.
Huh? Yeah. He can bring things to life.
Okay. All right.
He can fly. He can manipulate time.
Okay. Let's go. He can't manipulate
Unbelievable.
time.
Unbelievable.
According to the overview on Google,
can't-
he can manipulate
No,
time.
he can't. He can't manipulate time. He's a leprechaun.
He's Lucky the Leprechaun.
Well,
this
look.
is different.
While you guys, and myself included here, for the most part, have just one-off characters, give me the Crazy Squares from Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
So I thought about that.
Do you get all of them?
Sure,
Crazy Squares, yeah.
You can. Well, I don't know about that because there's
They also eat each other.
well, yes,
They do. They do.
They eat
So
each
we're
other.
gonna lose some good men.
Hold on.
We're gonna lose some
Hold
good
on.
squares.
They eat each other, and they're also the size of a penny.
Well, but if there's a billion of them,
How many
I
are
have
there?
a son.
I don't know. You're right, Eric. You have the sun.
That's the trump card.
You ass.
Okay, this is tough. Also, I don't like you disrespecting Snap, Crackle, and Pop like you did. That
Yeah,
was-
he just threw
that-
like a
that-
jab at him.
That wasn't really.
You
that,
talk about them like they're Troy.
Yeah, that wasn't really cool. Give me the Boo Berry
Mm.
because he's a ghost. And you talk about not dying. I think
Fair.
the Boo Berry's outlasting the
I think
sun.
you know the Boo Berry is honestly the only opponent that I think can match the sun. The only thing is, how are you killing everybody with the ghosts? You can scare them.
You're outlasting them.
Why can I ask you why you assume battle just means that this has to end in a bloody bloodshed like
the
death?
hell definition is battle
I mean,
to
you can have a truce at some
Kumbaya.
point, man.
Like what
But
are we
your
talking
thing
about?
is, who's gonna be alive after the
Okay, then I
100-year
win.
war?
If they're giving up, then I win.
Yeah,
They
but who
see the
says
sun,
we're
they
giving
give
up? We're trying to negotiate here.
You don't know what battle is. It's not my fault. Also, you're sending the crazy squares to negotiate.
I didn't. That's why we have Tony the Tiger here, man.
If anybody's
The crazy
negotiating on your
squares are
team,
just
it's
in
Toucan
case.
Sam.
The crazy squares are just in case
by the
things
way,
get spicy.
Some clarification on the powers
Oh
of
my gosh.
Lucky the Leprechaun. And for each marshmallow represents a specific power that Lucky has. The heart gives him the ability to bring life to objects.
Stop it. We're not.
The stars give him the ability to fly.
We're not reading
The
his
horseshoe gives
lore.
him speed.
Yeah,
The
this is
clovers
Lucky
give
the
good luck.
Leprechaun lore.
The blue moon lets him be invisible. The unicorn brings color. The rainbows grant him teleportation. And the red balloons allow him to make objects float.
Okay. Well, speaking of
Crazy squares is eating him in one bite.
what's
It's over.
what's the Honey Nut Cheerios guy's name? Buzz.
I
Probably.
can pull that out. That's a good pick.
He's got a wand.
Busby.
You talk about magic.
Yeah, he's got a wand. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good pick.
And you know what he can do? Teleport.
And he can drown people in honey.
Yeah.
Your crazy squares
let's
are
not go that
basically
far.
in
My
molasses.
crazy squares are fine. I think you're definitely go check out their game film. Go watch what the crazy squares do.
Yeah, we can't show that on this programming.
We can't put that on.
What's
fast.
his name? Busby.
Okay, Busby.
That's
one word.
horrible.
Busby.
Oh, one word.
One word.
That's even worse.
Busby. You don't disrespect your own draft pick like that, man.
Actually, it's kind of like Bisbee the name. I kind of like it now.
Busby and Booberry.
All right,
wow,
so
what a duo, huh?
Yeah.
What a duo.
Blueberry and Busby. That could have been 1-2. I don't know. Horatio is such a good one.
We've maintained somewhat of an audience through this, so I am just.
How could you not?
Give yourself a round of applause, everybody watching
Who do you got?
and listening on audio. Give me the Crunchosaurus Rex from the Kellogg's Cruncharoos.
The what?
Crunchosaurus Rex.
No, that's not what I was asking to say. What?
The Kellogg's?
Yeah, Kellogg's. What'd I say? Kellogg?
Kellogg's.
Yeah, Kellogg's.
Crunchosaurus Rex.
Yeah. Crunchosaurus Rex.
Interesting.
What? Crunch?
Go look him up.
I mean,
He's a dog.
Notoriously, dinosaurs
dog.
do good against things from space.
He's a
So,
dinosaur.
yes.
Okay, here we go. Look, the sun didn't take the dinosaurs out. Okay,
Could have.
It was an asteroid.
well,
At least so I've been told.
technically,
Technically,
we don't really know.
Yeah, well, I guess. Well, we might. We might know. Hi, Eric. What kind of mythical, godlike cereal mascot are you bringing a battle next?
I was gonna take Busby, to be honest with you. I need, I've got good people on my team.
No,
You have a
don't.
crazy bird.
I got
No,
good
you
people.
genuinely
means well.
You have the worst people on your
He
team.
means
You
well.
have people that are horrible.
He means well.
You have a drug addicted bird.
He is. Can we just get that out there?
Yeah.
He's addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cuckoo for cocaine.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Lucky harms children.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
And the sun, nobody that powerful can be a good person.
No.
Or thing.
Can I take John Cena? Because he's
No.
a representative for free.
I was,
people.
I was thinking about drafting all the Wheaties athletes.
Yeah, the
but
Wheaties.
no.
Usain Bolt.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Let's get real here. All right.
Yeah, let's get
stop,
real.
Let's stop messing around. All right. I need a good actual leader here. Maybe somebody who doesn't have the best powers, the best abilities,
Or that isn't on drugs.
but is down to earth.
Yeah.
A family man, somebody that can be relied upon. I'm sticking with Fruity Pebbles, and I'm taking Fred Flintstone, man of the people.
He's also a caveman.
Yes.
He's an idiot.
It's a little weird.
Okay. You took Toucan Sam,
Is that a-
bro.
We just keep going back to the Toucan pick, man. Let Toucan Sam be. He's done nothing to you yet. Okay?
What is he going to do?
Let's keep it that way.
What is he going to do?
Let's keep it that way. He's gonna. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm reading. I don't care because it's my last pick. I'm reading this out loud. So I'm debating between the cinnamon and the bad apple from Apple Jacks.
Yeah.
And also the Trix Rabbit.
Okay.
The first sentence on this thing that's talking about the Applejack says, well, Bad Apple clearly does have a lot of bottled up sexual frustration. That would manifest itself in a chaotic wave of fury on the battlefield.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. And I actually don't. I wish you didn't read that.
It is evenly canceled out by Cinnamons. Sorry, not cinnamon, Cinnamons. Pseudo-Jamaican presence.
His sexual energies calm down.
By the
Jamaican cinnamon stick?
of Cinnamon.
Wow. This
Give me the
program
trick-
has
give
fallen
me the
off,
Trix
ladies
Rabbit.
and gentlemen.
Give me the Trix Rabbit.
That's horrible.
Wow.
I don't
Doesn't the
care.
Trix Rabbit also hate children?
Yeah.
You got a lot of.
Dude,
You hate
literally,
kids,
yeah,
dude.
your team is just horrible,
Yeah.
horrible people.
Yeah.
We're in
Unbelievable.
war. War's
Unbelievable.
not notoriously won by good people.
No, well, Yeah, I guess. I guess that's it. Look, to bring my team home, give me the Honey Monster Puff.
Like, what are you doing here?
It's a honey monster.
What is that?
It's a mascot from a British cereal, and it's a giant monster. I'm gonna take it. Give me the Honey Monster.
Who the hell is that?
Look up the Honey Monster.
You make me mad.
I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, I think you might come up with some
This
really
is the Honey Monster.
weird.
What the hell?
Can't see it. That's the Honey Monster.
Oh my god.
God, I hope this Twitter poll reaches Britain.
I don't think there are many Sun Devil fans out there, if I'm being real with you. I hate the Honey Monster.
Yeah?
I think my entire existence is just going to be to
kill him.
To kill him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know what to tell you. The Crazy Squares, Honey Monster, and a dinosaur. I'll take it.
Okay. So
With Tony the Tiger leading us into battle.
I think one totally missed out on that you took a rabbit that's crazy for his food over a wolf.
Yeah.
That's crazy for his food.
Wolf, yeah.
But you can also go to like any of the monster cereals. I have 2 of them already, so I don't know if I want to go back there. Snap, Crackle, and Pop is I think an underrated pick. I think that like they're like pack hunters, like wolves. Like one of them jumps on your back while trying to cut your throat open.
Match up against the Crazy Squares.
Nobody's matching up against the Crazy Squares.
They're matching up against themselves.
I'm looking up how big a Crazy Square is.
It's a piece of cinnamon toast
But
crunch.
what if it wasn't? But what if it wasn't?
Then it wouldn't be the mascot for them.
It literally is.
How big are the Crazy Squares?
You know, I'm not going to get to eat lunch in between suns because we're talking about how big the cinnamon toast crunch Crazy Squares
The Crazy Squares are the mascots, blah, 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 blah. Oh.
Yeah.
1.37 centimeters in size.
Has Grimace ever had a cereal?
No.
Because that would be like...
Grimace would probably win. I think I would take Grimace against the Sun.
Like, come on.
Look at that guy. Bro, that guy knows nothing but chaos.
All right, I'm going to go with the Cookie Crisp.
Yeah,
Can somebody look up his name?
The Cookie Crisp wolf thing?
I got you.
He's like a... What is he? Is he a wolf? He's a dog? He's a dog?
Is he a dog? I thought he was a wolf.
He's totally
Is he a dog that wants to be a wolf?
He's Chip the Wolf.
Okay.
He's Chip the Wolf.
Oh, I'm
Chip the wolf.
taking the wolf.
There you go. Wow. Unbelievable stuff.
Well, that's a good last pick. That's the best last pick for sure.
Will in the chat says Totri and Shane are just going to wait out the battle till nighttime.
Till what?
Till nighttime.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
It's a sentient sun, so it can just stay up.
Yeah, well.
Also, here's the thing. I'm just going to tell Sonny, Lucky, Fred, and Trix to go kick it. Go have a bowl of cereal, stay as far away from the battlefield as possible, and then I'm just sending the sun to burn you all to death.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is
the Crazy Squares are going to eat the sun.
You can't keep Sonny, the bird.
Oh, you know what? He's a casualty. It's fine.
Look at where he's already sacrificing his team.
It's fine.
You can't tell him what to do.
Sonny, no, if I have a bowl of Cocoa Puffs, no free ads, no free ads, no free. I'm just going to get that out of the way for all the things that we said. No free ads, no free ads, no free ads.
The night before the battle, Sonny's gonna come in itching his arm. Like at
we're
4
gonna have him
morning,
restrained.
And you'd be like,
He's like
were
our
you?
break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah.
We've got him restrained.
Oh, that was horrible.
You have a drugged out bird.
I'm excited to go.
Let's go
to
the
go
draft
with another one.
real fast. Erik, why don't you go ahead and read yours?
I took the sun first overall.
No,
Sonny the Sun.
It's not the sun.
Yeah,
it's the sun.
No, it's not.
It's Sonny the Sun.
What other sun?
Sunny.
He's
the sun.
No, he's probably a star that they're misrepresenting as a sun. So you know he might just be an Inferno, which wouldn't be good because you could put him out. We don't know that.
With who?
Because there is only one.
He's also
sun.
not that big.
Here.
He's also not that big on the box.
The sun.
He's also not that big on the box.
Hold on, Erik. Let's talk through this like
grown men.
Like grown men for a second.
Sonny,
no, hold on.
the sun size.
Put your device away and let's just talk through this. The sun, our sun, there's only one sun. We know clearly that he's not a Raisin Bran mascot.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a he. It's the sun.
It's the sun.
So how can he be the sun? He's not the sun.
He's a sun.
He's
a
not,
mythical sun.
He's not.
You know, I just Googled, is Sonny the Sun the actual size of the sun? Surprisingly, no straightforward answer.
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
So that's big. That's up for debate.
Yeah. Go over yours. Go ahead. Erik.
Then I have Sonny, the cuckoo bird. Lucky, the leprechaun, who, by the way, those powers are canon. They're on the box.
They're canon.
They're on the box.
Okay, they're on the box.
Okay, that's
you have an idiot caveman and 2
and
drugged out
Fred,
mascots.
Fred, leader of men, Flintstone, and the Trix Rabbit.
Fred, leader of men. Unbelievable.
Totri?
I've got Tony the Tiger, everybody's favorite battle figure
Toucan
here.
Sam might be the worst draft pick.
I got
of all time.
Toucan Sam.
Second
Toucan Sam.
overall.
Give me the Crazy Squares, which you guys just underestimate. If you don't believe in them, again, go check out the tape. We can't show it on this program for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I got the Crunchosaurus Rex, and then a Honey Monster from a beautiful British cereal brand.
How do you spell Crunchosaurus? I feel like it's wrong.
I don't know.
Looks right to me.
I think it's an A instead of an
How
O.
big is
there.
the Crunchosaurus Rex? That's the big question.
Saurus or
Crunchos. How do you spell that?
yeah? Can somebody help me out here? US.
Crunchosaurus Rex size.
we gotta get out of here, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, like we are.
Okay. I have Captain Crunch. He's wielding a saber. Or
Horatio.
Yeah. What was it? Horatio Nautical.
Horatio Magellan Crunch.
Wow.
Amazing.
Captain Horatio
Count
Magellan
Chocula,
Crunch.
he's legitimately immortal. Just wait inside. Booberry, also immortal. Busby has a magic wand. Pour honey on my goat, you know.
Yeah.
And
Pour honey on my goat?
and
Is that what you said?
And Chip the wolf.
Wow.
He's cuckoo as well.
Pour honey on my wolf.
Well, that's a great way to end this podcast today, ladies and gentlemen. This
Leave
is
a
going to
like.
be posted.
B says Erik for the win. Let's
This
go.
can be posted on our Twitter. We'll see if Dilly drops any comments on who he thinks won this serial mascot to death fight draft.
That's not what it is, though.
Yeah, it's just a battle.
We have to somehow make sure in the copy that the voters understand, the Gen Pop of our community understand that there has to be some type of leadership quality that they're keeping in mind.
Fred Flintstone.
We'll work
Because
this
you
out.
look at Sonny.
You realize
the
how
cuckoo
stupid
bird.
that sounds, right? That Fred Flintstone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fred
Who's
Flintstone.
leading your team?
Tony
The
the
Crazies?
Tiger. Tony the Tiger is leading. Come on, man. Tony the Tiger.
I've seen Tony the Tiger in the kitchen whipping up things
Yeah,
he should not
yeah.
be whipping up. Okay?
Unbelievable. Coming from the guy
That's
that
your
draft-
leader of
yeah.
men.
Guys, give the program a follow at PHNX
Hit
_
that
Sun Devils.
5-star button.
You can follow me at Anthony _ Totri. You can follow this guy who's just a big believer in the sun at Erik Ruby.
Aren't we all?
That's Erik with a K. You could follow the Deli Man, also known as Mr. Dieffenbach, at Shane Dief.
Just trying to keep everything scientifically accurate as possible, as always.
100%. Guys, we will see you on Thursday ahead of the 2025 NFL Draft. But in the meantime, go Devils. In peace.
It's the sun.
We all silly like the mayor.